Hello, Tim here with my day 4 update of my low carb, high fat, moderate protein or adequate protein diet, also known as the keto diet. Day 4, give you a bit of a status update in terms of weight loss. So I lost 0.7 of a kilogram, which is around about 1.5 pounds, meaning that in 3 full days of this diet, because remembering that I actually do these videos in the morning in Australia, I've lost a total of 5.3 pounds, so just over 5 pounds, which is about 2.4 kilograms. So that's just in 3 days. So this diet absolutely is working well. I've been very pleased with the progress so far, feeling still quite energized and look, lacking hunger. The other thing I want to report, a couple of things I want to talk about. Firstly, the hunger, absolutely diminishing. In actual fact, I had yesterday, I had my breakfast. Then I didn't really want to eat lunch. I felt that I didn't really want to do it. And I, in the past, have been one of these people who, 12 o'clock, I've got to eat. I'm almost sort of thinking ahead of time at 11:30 sometimes, like, what am I going to eat? I found myself at 1 o'clock in the afternoon thinking, do I really want to eat? In the end, I decided just to have a little bit of a light snack. I had some pork crackles, which is basically a very healthy snack. And I'll actually show you in tomorrow's video. It's pork rinds basically, so it's something that's very low in carbs. It tastes and looks a little bit like a chip, like a potato chip or crisp, or depending on how you say it in your part of the world. Because I know it's in Australia we just call them chips. The ones that are in a packet anyway, and it's very low in carbs but high in fat, so it's perfect for a low carb diet. Had some of those and had a bit of cheese and felt pretty well okay. And had a nibble of a few other things in the afternoon, just little snacky things, but nothing dramatic. It got to tea time, to dinner time at about 7 p.m. and decided, well, I better cook something. And I'm going to show you what I actually did eat in the evening. And the other thing I'll do is I'll show you what I've eaten today for breakfast. So I'm going to pause my live video now, and I'm going to overlay the breakfast pictures so you can see what I've eaten. So I'll do that now. Okay, so this is my first one. You can see that there's some spinach there, and I've also got some bacon and eggs. I've got some tomato and some mushrooms there, and the bacon and eggs were basically cooked in butter. So basically, high fat, as you can see. So lots of protein in there, and obviously low carb. So that's my breakfast from this morning. Okay, the second one, you can see that there's chicken there, and there's lots of vegetables. There's some broccoli, there's some green beans. There's some cauliflower and also some pumpkin there, and you can see I've got butter over everything as well. So there's plenty of fat there, and that was actually cooked. The vegetables were steamed, but the actual chicken was cooked in olive oil, which of course is high in fat as well. So the meals aren't particularly inspiring. Like, I didn't have a sauce or anything, but I could have had another sauce, like a hollandaise sauce or something like that, to add some more fat and so forth, a taste if I wanted to. I just had some pepper on there. It's pretty basic. It's not really that hard. I don't think it's that hard, and this was a very filling meal. In actual fact, I probably could have done away with a lot less. One of the things I'm learning now is to try and reduce the amount of the size of my meals each time. Okay, back to the other video. Okay, back again. The other thing I want to talk about, Gina posted on my day 3 video a comment about an excellent book, Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It, by Gary Taubes. I hope I've got the pronunciation right. Thank you very much for that, Gina. That's a very good reference, and I suggest people look at getting that. In actual fact, just to show you that you can use a device. I've got an iPad here. I can load this up. There's 2 versions. You can buy the actual book from Amazon, or you can actually get the actual book itself on an iPad, on an iPhone if you've got an iPhone, or even virtually any Android device, as well as a Kindle. So if you've got any of those things, you can download the free Amazon Kindle app and actually purchase this ebook, and actually purchase this as an ebook, an electronic book, and read it on your device. So I find that's often more handy, and that's far easier for me to use than purchasing the physical book. What I've done is I've actually got a link to both the physical book, if you prefer reading hard copies, or if you prefer to read it on an iPad, like I said, iPad, iPhone, etc. You can actually download it. I've got a link for both in the description. So if you look at below this video, if you're playing this on a computer, there's a show more button. You click on that and there's a link there, and you should also be able to see that if you're playing it on a device, on a phone or some other sort of Android device or whatever you've got. Click on that link and you can go and grab a copy of that. I suggest you do that because this book is excellent, and it's basically the scientific information you need to know about why a low carb diet works. It's absolutely fantastic, riveting reading. Now, this guy has also produced a book prior to this one, which actually goes into far more technical detail, which is more aimed for doctors. But this book, Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It, is basically aimed more for people like you and me. So it really gives a good definition of why this is happening. And it also just really goes through, gives you some good information. So I suggest you pick up a copy. It's quite inexpensive and a good read, easy to get into, and it will really help accelerate your growth as you learn more about the low carb diet. So there's that. The other thing I want to talk about is we had another person who commented, Castor, I think his name was, on my first day, my day one video. And basically he's a vegan and he's suggesting that we're all idiots being on a low carb diet. So I had a bit of a discussion with Castor, who seemed to be quite aggro, which I don't know why, because we're all here trying to help each other, I would think, for a good common cause. But basically, Castor is a vegan, which is fine, and I respect his choice. Castor, please do the same for other people and respect their choices as well. I know Castor was going along the lines of saying, look, that you can't believe everything you read and you should just do it. Well, I'd like to say, Castor, I've now lost 5.3 pounds, which is 2.4 kilograms in 3 days. So this is me doing it as well, and the weight is coming off. Proof enough that the low carb diet is working. The other thing I want to point out was I uploaded a video, Low Carb Explained. So go and have a look at that. I'll actually put a link to this right now. So if you look below on this screen, you can click on that if you want to go and watch that video. I'll get it to open in a new page so you can watch it later if you like. And that gives a very short overview of a 30-minute video interview from Mary Vernon, who's an expert in low carb, and she explains, again, in layman's terms, why the low carb diet works. And she's someone who's been on this for 13 years. Because that's the other thing I want to point out that Castor said, was he was trying to say that this is a short-term diet and not something, it's not a lifestyle change. Well, you're certainly wrong on there, Castor. And again, I'm not having a go at vegans because I tried that and it wasn't for me. And vegans is probably, being a vegan is a very good lifestyle choice, and I'm certainly not bagging it. Low carb diet is another healthy choice that people can transition to, and frankly, it's a lot easier. Myself having tried to do vegan, I'm finding this is a lot easier to get into. And look, most people aren't ready to go full vegan, let's face it. So, I mean, you might decide to do that down the track at the end of this diet, or you might decide to stick to this. My point is, there's options out there for weight loss, and this is a weight loss option that is actually working. It's working well for me. It's worked for hundreds of people. For both the long term, if you decide to stick on this for the long term, there's a sustainable option to do that. You don't have to get off it after you've lost your weight. Alright, so I just wanted to make those points. Other than that, I'm feeling fantastic. Things are going really well. And I'm looking forward to updating you again with tomorrow's video. Thanks for your time. See you later. Bye.